Hey everyone, Coffee and Colouring here and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be colouring in a book I just got yesterday called Horrorland. There is a flip through of this wonderful book on my channel if you would like to check that out. So I just started colouring this page. This page here of the Plague Doctor. So yeah, all I did is the background so far in Ohuhu markers. You can see the bleed through, and I've got some blotter pages on the other side. And yeah, I think this is such a cute, simple picture, and it looks cool at the same time. So I'm like, so I did the background and I was really liking how it was looking so far, so I thought, why not do a colour along on this piece? So I am going to continue going in with my Ohuhu markers, and then I'll probably do the shading with Prismacolor pencils. So let's see, let me just fix the lighting. Probably move you guys closer. So for the background I used the Ohuhu marker in CG2. So just this one here I used for the light shading, and then I used WG4 for the darker bits, and I kind of went over it with the CG2 to blend the two shades together. So now I'm just going in with WG4 to give the base layer. So I'm going in with 120, which is the black, just for the eye parts. CG6 for the base layer on the parts that I want a little bit darker. Going in with WG4 to make this light. I'm really excited because I actually have a lot of books ordered from Amazon. I just had another one arrive today, so I was thinking of doing a flip through of it. I kind of want to do a flip through of every book I end up getting, but at the same time, if it's something like that I've already colored in from my old, like the books that I already own, probably won't worry about a flip through. And you know, I've got some Hannah Coulson books and Joanna Basford, and I'm sure everyone has seen flip throughs of those wonderful books by now, so I plan on maybe doing ones that aren't as popular, or you know, if I'm browsing on Amazon and I end up just finding a colouring book that looks interesting and buying it and then seeing the images in person, and then doing a flip through, so then if other people like me and just curious to what images are in the book, I can do that. Because that's what happened with this colouring book, Horrorland, is I was randomly having a browse at colouring books on Amazon, and this one eventually popped up, and there was like, in the reviews I could see some people posted a couple images, but there was barely any, and I was really curious and wondering what it looked like, and I did find like 2 videos maybe of like a flip through, but there was a video that had like 3 of this artist's books in the one video and doing a flip through of that. So I thought I could only find like 2 flip throughs of this book, or not even, basically I just found one. So yeah, I'm like, why not put another flip through of this book? Like, obviously to have more options for people who are having a shop, and yeah, I don't know, I just think it'll be fun too for me, because I can kind of buy books that I have no idea what the images are 100% like, and then I can just do flip throughs. Or maybe in the comments, if there's a book that you have seen on Amazon and you want to see what it looks like, you can let me know like the name of the book, and then I can order it and do a flip through before you actually go through with buying it. So then that way you can see through me if you think it's worth buying or not. But yeah, with that being said, I probably will do flip throughs of books that a lot of people have already done, just because I guess as my collection of colouring books grow. Yeah, I just, every time I get a new colouring book, might do a flip through, but like I've said, I've also ordered quite a few. I think it was like 7 to 10 books that I've ordered now that are on the way. So I don't know if I just do a bunch of flip through videos and keep it as extra content to post when I don't have anything else to post, or if I post the bunch in kind of one hit, like daily. I don't know, we'll see what happens, but yeah, this marker is kind of dry. Oh, this side's worse. I haven't even used this one that much. I think I did try and use it on another medium a while ago now, and I've just forgotten. I just remembered now, so I think I did that and it kind of damaged this marker. But I just need to squeeze the last of it out to colour this part. But yeah, I've had some colouring books that have been on my wish list for like over a year or possibly more. So yeah, I think I said in my colouring chat video, my last colouring chat video, the one where I coloured in from the Misfits book and I did Sparkle Rot, I said how I treated myself, which is why I ordered so many books at once. And yeah, I'm super excited to get them, but I think every now and then I'll spoil myself and get more. I think I'll get more than like 3 books at a time. I'll get like 5 or more, or 3 can be the minimum, and that way my collection can grow. But like I said, this is going to be every now and then because when you're addicted to coloring, then a lot of money adds up. When you actually add up the total of colouring books that you end up buying, it does add up super quick and it does get expensive, but it is worth it when you have this addiction and enjoy it so much. I think that's one of my favourite things when watching other colourists, is when they talk about having a bit of an addiction to colouring and collecting colouring books, and just hearing them talk about it, it's like, oh, I'm not alone, like I'm not the only one that feels like that. There's other people that are the same as me, it's fine. And then you kind of like let yourself off with the addiction. You're like, it's okay, other people like that, it's fine. So yeah, a piece that I did just before this, I did in my Misfits Halloween colouring book, and it was after the Sparkle Rot drawing, which I don't mind how it turned out, but the one that I did, which was my first piece of May in that book, I really loved that one, so it just wasn't as good as that one to me. And yeah, the piece before this one, I really liked that one too, which was again after Sparkle Rot. So now I kind of dislike it a little bit more. I was gonna delete the video because I just didn't like, yeah, the final result as much. Like I said, it's not too bad, it's just not what I wanted, and not as smooth colouring as I would have liked. I feel like I kind of rushed some elements, but then again, I updated you guys anyway, so I feel like for those of you who just want to relax and have, you know, the colouring in the background but still get the updates of where I've been, yeah, I don't know, that just kind of made me have a reason to keep the video up. Okay, so I'm going to use Ohuhu marker 95, and I'm going to use that for this rope part here and the rope around the neck of the garlic. And I actually researched like the whole garlic thing, so like that's quite interesting, and I'm sure it's not randomly on this plague doctor. Like, I'm sure there's a reason in history. And from what I could kind of find, there was a bunch of other herbs and a bunch of other things they would use, but this like garlic was one of the things that they would use for sicknesses and stuff, as a healing remedy. So that was really interesting to find out. And also with this piece, I'm trying to keep the colors very muted. And yeah, I really like the look that I'm getting. Like a very dark, grey, muted colour scheme. That way everything kind of flows nicely together. If you guys are like me, like I'm actually a really big horror fan, and I've just, ever since I was little really, I actually was one of the only kids I knew that watched a lot of horror movies that some kids probably shouldn't be watching, but I really enjoyed it when I was younger. Like, it would scare me. There were some that scarred me for life, but I would watch them, you know, as I got older. Like, I would rewatch them and be like, oh, like, you know, it still has that hint of a little bit of fear because you just remember how you felt when you were younger. I still remember all these stories. But yeah, like, I just really enjoyed horror movies, especially when I probably got to age 11 or 12, and then just all the way through the rest of my life. I just loved watching horror movies, and I just loved how things are usually unexpected, but then when you grow up watching horror movies and watch them all the time, you kind of guess the plot and you kind of become a pro at knowing the scenario in the movies. But yeah, I just really love it, and I love classic horror like Nightmare on Elm Street and the Halloween franchise, Child's Play, all of the good stuff. I love that. And, you know, Stephen King is a legend. Love the It movies. They are awesome. Like, I remember watching the original when I was younger, and yeah, like clowns, I've never had a fear. Like, I'm not, I understand that a lot of people may have a fear of clowns. I knew a lot of people in person that did, but I just never found them creepy. I get and understand how people could find them creepy, but I just understood that they're people dressed up kind of thing. But then, you know, there's like real life murderous clowns, like real people that have dressed up as clowns and committed crimes and stuff, so that is really creepy. Also, I'm going to be using 52 to do the little leaves on the outside. But yeah, where I was going with that is I love horror, and if you do too, you should check out this book because I don't know, I found the images really interesting and fun. Considering I wasn't on the hunt for any particular book and this one kind of popped up and I'm like, ooh, Horrorland, like I have to check that out. I also loved the Goosebumps series by R.L. Stine. I grew up reading the books, I loved them. Huge fan. I would collect them and watch the original show. And yeah, when I saw the title of this coloring book, I instantly thought of that. But yeah, really interesting images. There are some other ones, but they're more themed. I like this first book that the artist came out with because there's so much different varieties of images. Because in the other books they're more themed, so there's one where it's just like creepy men and it's like got a bunch of, you know, men in poses and, you know, with the chainsaw and stuff like that, like images like that. And then there's a women's one with all like creepy ladies, and yeah, I think there was another two. I can't remember what they were, but yeah, I just loved the variety in this one. So yeah, one of my favorite books to color in as well, or artworks to look at, is the horror ones, and also the Halloween ones. You know, you can get really cute Halloween autumn books. They're my favorite. Like anything with pumpkins in the book will probably mean that I will like it. And you know, bats and things like this, I just love it. I'm all about it. So for the, oh, I missed a leaf, I just noticed. So for the garlic, I am going to be using 40, actually, I'm going to be using WG1, which is warm grey. Because again, it's the base, I can always add hints of a cream colour in it. I really love the colours I've used so far as the base. I'm excited to see how it looks with some shading and when I add some highlights at the very end. But yeah, sorry, I kind of went on a massive horror rant, and yeah, I really enjoy that kind of art and colouring, that kind of stuff. Just really fun. Anything creepy or that would creep other people out, I'm all for it. So yeah. I even love, like one of the books I have on the way is Chibi Horror, and it's got these really cute little chibi characters in like costumes or like as a witch, things like that. And yeah, I love that too. I love cute creepy, actual creepy. And this isn't really you know, horror, but I really love the gothic style and any kind of dark fantasy art. I love that. Yeah, let me know in the comments what your favorite genre of coloring book is. That would be really interesting to read, because I do love all the unique styles of art. I really do, but I just love horror themed images, or Halloween themed images. They're my favorite. So I do have a lot of Halloween coloring books on my wish list. So I'm going to make the top of the lantern the same color as the rope, which is 95. I'm just interested to see how many of you actually, well, I'm interested to see in general your favorite coloring books, but I'm also interested to see if there's anyone similar to me that likes the same books that I do. Something else I really enjoy coloring, and it's another book based on this that I have in my wish list, but I love coloring mushrooms. I just love how you can change up the colors, and they're just really fun to shade. I used to think I was the only one that just really loved it. Like, I could color in different kinds of mushrooms all day. But there have been a few colorists that I remember watching and hearing a mention that they love coloring mushrooms. So I'm like, that's great. I love that. I really have been having a lot of fun lately doing an Ohuhu marker, or an alcohol marker base, and then shading with the Prismacolor pencils. Just really have been enjoying it. It's been really relaxing, and I just feel like it's speeds up the process a little bit because you're blocking out the main bits with the alcohol markers and then just adding some finer details with the colored pencil. So yeah, really been enjoying that. So I did order, well, the books that are on their way are a lot of books I plan on using markers and colored pencils in, just because I've been really into that lately. And I do have a lot of books just with, I forgot a little spot there, I just realized. Yeah, just with that I use my Prismacolors in. I actually tested at the front the Prismacolors to see if it would blend smoothly on this paper, and it does. It blends really nicely, just Prismacolors on their own. So yeah. Okay, so I can kind of show you in this little section how I did the rest of the circle. So I just used CG2, like I said, and did it like that, and then WG4 for the outside and going into it a little bit, and then grabbing CG2 again and trying to blend the line so it's not so harsh and more smooth. And then I would go over the dark spots with WG4 one more time. And just the outline to keep it nice and dark. So that's how I did that. So I'm going to add 49 to the lantern. So that looks looks very bright, but I am going to add, I can just color the whole thing. Why am I coloring it separately? Yeah, hopefully a more cream muted color. Oh, it's kind of making the marker blend. Maybe I should have done this separately. Not blend, just like bleed. Oh well, I'll fix that with pencil. So the whole marker base is now complete. There it is, you can see on the back. So now to do the shading. So for the rope, I am going to be using PC 1080, which is beige sienna. And I'm just going to use it to highlight. Just like that, a little bit. Also off camera, I shaded the leaves and I just used Parrot Green PC 1006. So just like that, and I'm going to do the same for the lantern. So probably a lot here. But yeah, another style that I love to color is chibi, or any anime kind of style, because I love anime art and manga. But like I said, there's certain moods you have to be in to color certain things, or you know, you're in the mood, like you love everything, but you have a little rotation of the books that you enjoy coloring. But yeah, and like I said, there is chibi horror books and Halloween chibi books, so it's like a mix of the two things I love. Okay, so that is the lantern. Sorry, didn't have the camera quite focused on there properly. So I forgot I gotta do this bit of the rope around his neck. And on the lantern, I'm just going to be using cream, which is 914. Sorry, that's kind of blurry. Adding some of the cream to the lantern to give a bit of a glow effect on the closer parts. Beige sienna. And just going to use my black Prismacolor 935 to go over some of the line work again. Got rid of some of the pattern that was on the lantern, but it's okay. Oops. Went a little too on the outside there. So yeah, that's looking kind of better. So now I'm going to get a little bit of my black Prismacolor again, just to add a bit more darker shadows. To where his hand would, to where his hand is, and then blending it out with the beige sienna. Like that. And now I'm going to use the 90% French grey. Which is 1076. Whoops. And I'm going to use that to shade here. And then with the 30% warm grey, 1052, I'm going to blend that in a little bit more. Just go over it and then use the French grey. And I'm not too sure where to add it. I actually really loved how the marker base looked on its own. I love putting in shading though, just to add a little more detail. So I'm going in with my black Prismacolor and probably shade that. I'm going to leave a little bit there. Actually, I might use my Sakura jelly roll now and erase the eye there just to separate it. And then I'm going to use the 70% French grey. And then I got the 70%. Oh, sorry, that was the 90% French grey. So I'm going to use the 70% to see if I can lighten this up a bit. Yeah. Okay, so do this part. My black is quite small now, but nowhere near as small as my white Prismacolor. So I'm just going to darken it up where I think it would look good. And okay, and then the 90% French grey. And then the 70% French grey. I actually have the 30% warm grey, which is 1052. So let's see if I can add kind of a highlight. Yep, I like how that looks. So I'm going to do the same for the top bit of his hat using the black first. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera a little bit. I use my phone to film and I put it on a little stand. So I'm using a lighter pressure to add a layer down. And then again, repeating the same 90%. And then the 70%. And then the warm grey 30%, or 30% warm grey, saying it back to front. Just gonna go in with the French grey 70% again. Maybe I don't know, I feel like I might need some more black. Just playing around a little bit with the colors to get it to where I like it. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. So now we're going to move on to here. Might just move my lighting. Now the shadow's not as bad. Okay, so I'm going to darken up around his face. And the outside here. And I'll do the same here. Okay. So I'm going to follow the creases here. I'm just kind of roughly sketching in the shading. Something like that. Sorry again about the shaking. I hope it's not bothering you too much. So, just putting more pressure to darken it up. Okay, so I'm just going to start going in with the 90% French grey. I'll just quickly cut this bit. So sometimes it really is about playing with the shadows and the colors that you're using, because sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. I just play around with it until I like it. And it's all about learning. So now the 70% French grey. And I'm going to go in with the black again first before I add the more highlighted part. Sorry, that is shaking quite a lot. Okay, I zoomed you in a little more. So, and then my 90% French grey. And then I'm going to use, kind of already like how it looks, but the 30% warm grey for the more highlighted areas. just to make the highlighted areas pop a little more. Yep, I like that. Just gonna darken up here a little bit. Okay. Okay, now he's like the big part of the mask. I want to be darker. So I'll have the bottom bit be the darkest. And that's what's really helpful with some coloring books too. They all have some form of shading. Like you could follow this, like the line work if you really like. Because yeah, in some other artist books, they do have pretty clear guidelines on where you could shade, which is really helpful when you're playing around with shading and just to learn in general. And it's interesting to see how it would turn out if you do follow how someone else would shade or where those guidelines are. And yeah, like I said, you can learn something new or enjoy shading a certain way just from learning or experimenting. So and then the 30% warm grey for the highlights. So that is nearly done. I'm just going to go in with a 90% warm grey again. And then black. And 30% warm grey. I hope I've been saying French grey and warm grey at the right times of using the pencils. I feel like I'm just not thinking and kind of saying it, so I'm not sure if I have mixed them up. So if I have, I am sorry. So I have my white Prismacolor pencil in one of these, so I can still colour because this is how tiny it is. It is so tiny, so I just pop it in here so I can comfortably colour and still try and use every last bit of it. So I'm going to use it in the light parts that I left. So yeah, I feel like that made it just pop a little bit more. Oops, did I go into the eye? Well, the slits of the mask, I should say. The eye slits, because they aren't eyes. So, I could even darken some of the rope with the black. Just some of it. So I went a bit crazy with the sienna beige. But yeah, it still looks really nice as it is. Okay, so now I'm going in with the 70% French grey for this part. I really don't know what to do with it. I might just kind of colour these inner parts here. I'm just going to go over these circles. So I'll probably just show you guys one and then colour in the rest, because the video is probably already getting pretty long now. So the 90%, I'm going to use even more on the inner part. And then with the 30% warm grey, going to go along here. Grabbing the 70% warm grey. %, warm grey. Okay, so what I did there, I'm just going to go around and do to the rest. Okay, so I'm back and I shaded the garlics with one of the grey shades. I did the rest of this here. I did this part around the waist area, or like his stomach, and I started adding black here. So we just have to do his hand and the body. So yeah, we're almost done with this one. I'm just adding some more black. Probably should sharpen this pencil, but because I'm so close to finishing, I'm just gonna leave it. Sorry, that's kind of covering it, I think. What else did I do? I think that's all I did off camera. Here. I don't really know where to put the shading. I feel like that's where the highlight should be. What am I doing? Okay, so now the 90% French grey. again. Okay, and then the 30% warm grey. Go in like this. I kind of don't like how I did his hand. I feel like I did the shadows in where the highlight should be and the highlights where the shadows should be, kind of thing. But it's okay. I'm trying to see if I can fix this a little bit. Because if I lighten this up, okay, and now I'm going to use my white Prismacolor. I think I fixed it. Okay, so very close to finishing. I'm going to add some darker shades here. So just with my black pencil, going to try darken it up a little bit. Okay. And then these ones got a bit darker. I don't think, oh yeah, if I can get it a little bit darker. Okay, so now I'm going to use my Sakura jelly roll to add highlights, and then we shall be finished. Okay, so as for where to add them, I'm not too sure. I'm going to add some, maybe just try on this garlic. I don't really know. Add it there on the lantern. Yeah. Top bit and bottom here where the light source would be. And add it on the leaves. Wait, just use my finger to wipe that off, but little highlight. Sorry if my hand is in the way. Okay, so added very teeny tiny dots. And sorry, the lighting's kind of darker than what it was because my light needs some charging. So yeah, I'm just trying to think. I'm going to try out some where his eyes are. And I don't know if I should add some here. Okay, added some highlights there, and maybe here. I'm just gonna add that because I went over the lines. Just tap it so it's not as noticeable. And okay, well, I like how that looks, so I may as well add it here as well. I'm just gonna grab, because I've got another piece of paper behind this so I don't put my hand over Prismacolor. I don't know if that's too many highlights, but I do like it. Yep, I think I am happy with that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the 90% warm grey on the inner parts to kind of highlight this, so it's not just black like that. And maybe a little bit of the 70% French grey over the top. So everyone, that is the finished colored picture. You'll probably see it in my completed pages in much better lighting, but I am pretty happy with how this one turned out. It was really fun to do, and I know this video is quite long, but that is pretty quick for a colored page, because a lot of pages can take like up to 4 to 10 hours, so this was really quick and fun just to do in one sitting. I do think this would look cool with the kind of faded effect on the outside as well, but I am really happy with just this simple look. Please let me know in the comments what you think about the final colored piece, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!